It's not exact. See, when you have a gang tackle on a guy, I mean, it's up to the stat guy, one stat guy up in the box to say, oh, well, this guy got the solo and this guy got the assist and blah, blah, blah. It's just, I don't like it. Right. But, if we're forced to do it, these are the guys you need to look at. And we're going to put more and more effort into that and hopefully find you those sleepers that'll turn stuff around for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we're going to be talking about the what we've talked about in our I guess you would call it like pilot type podcast.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, and I know a lot of people are kind of sick of hearing about it, but we're going to talk about it because we haven't talked about it yet. It's the whole Penn State scandal, Jerry Sandusky and his
saying scandalous.
But more specifically, we're going to be talking about the whole Bob Costas interview which
was awesome,
which should have probably never fucking happened if he had a smart lawyer.
Yes.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the little bit of the clip and then kind of just make interject some comments.
Right.
So if you want to.
I'll cue this shit up. This is Bob Costas interviewing Jerry Sandusky over the phone with his lawyer sitting in studio with him.
Sandusky, there's a 40-count indictment. The grand jury report contains specific detail. There are multiple accusers, multiple eyewitnesses to various aspects of the abuse.
That's not good.
A reasonable person says where there's this much smoke, there must be plenty of fire. What do you say?
I say that I am innocent of those charges.
Innocent, completely innocent, and falsely accused in every aspect?
Well, I could say that, I have done some of those things.
Okay, right there. I have done some of those things. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
He's definitely dancing around the issue.
Innocent, completely innocent. I can tell you I have done some of those things, but none of those things.
You either you did it or you didn't do it.
Exactly.
So I mean, if you, I don't fucking.
This was one of the weirdest.
I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
Yeah.
Or his fucking lawyer.
Oh yeah.
For that matter.
When he starts talking, it gets ridiculous. All right, here we go. Some more.
I have horsed around with kids. I have showered after workouts.
Who says that?
I have hugged them.
Who showers with kids?
I have touched their leg.
What the
without
Hold
intent.
on. I have touched their leg. What the hell?
What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
Besides, he's literally touched their leg.
Yeah, I have showered with them.
Is it the third one?
Touched
touching the third leg.
What the hell? This guy's digging himself a hole.
Yeah, totally.
And he continues on.
Of sexual contact, but
is that recording?
So yeah. if you look at it that way, there are things that wouldn't would be accurate.
Are you denying that you had any inappropriate sexual contact with any of these underage boys?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Never touched their genitals, never engaged in oral sex?
Wow.
Right.
What about Mike McQuarrie, the grad assistant who in 2002 walked into the shower where he says, in specific, 10 or 11 years old, that his hands were up against the shower wall and he heard rhythmic slapping sounds, and he described that as a rape.
Slapping, bro.
That's false.
Slap.
That's
what
hilarious.
the hell?
Motive to lie.
It's horrible, but it's hilarious at the same time. It's just the way that Bob Costas
in the shower the night that Mike
asked the question.
I give him credit for asking the question.
Or describing what
McQuarrie
heard.
Here he goes talking about.
Around,
yeah, here we go.
And he actually turned all the showers on and was actually sliding across the floor, and we were.
Wait, is this like Wet n Wild in the Penn State locker room? Like I don't get it.
In 1998,
like kids are sliding across the floor?
A mother confronts you about taking a shower with her son and inappropriately touching him. 2 detectives eavesdrop on her conversations with you, and you admit that maybe your private parts touched her son.
What
happened there?
Well, I can't exactly recall what was said there.
Of course you can't.
In terms of what I did say was that if he felt that way, then I was wrong.
During one of those conversations, you said, I understand, I was wrong. I wish I could get forgiveness, speaking now with the mother. I know I won't get it from you. I wish I were dead. A guy falsely accused or a guy whose actions have been misinterpreted doesn't respond that way, does he?
I don't know. I didn't say, to my recollection, that I wish I were dead.
What the hell?
I was hopeful that we could reconcile things.
Shortly after that, in 2000, a janitor said that he saw you performing oral sex on a young boy in the showers in the Penn State locker facility. Did that happen?
No.
How could somebody think
Did you hear I
they
said
saw
that? He's just like,
something
no.
as extreme and shocking as that when it hadn't occurred? And what would possibly be their motivation to fabricate it?
You'd have to ask them.
No, he's asking you, dude.
It seems that if all of these accusations are false, you are the unluckiest and most persecuted man that any of us has ever heard about.
Dude, Nelson Mandela has nothing on this guy. I mean,
Oh, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't think that these have been the best days of my life.
Sandusky's attorney, Joseph Amendola, insists
All
the
right,
charges
dude, yeah.
filed by the
I-
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania
Well,
listing 8 victims will
yeah, dude. He just sounds totally creepy to me, and his answers to his questions, it's almost like nonchalant. Like, we're talking about some crazy shit here.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I don't know. You have to ask them, blah, blah, blah. And it just sounds like a creepy old son of a bitch to me.
He's obviously talking like somebody who's fucking guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Or is guilty, but he is so deluded that he doesn't even see that he did anything wrong.
Right.
You know, it's really weird. What we're going to do is we're going to cut off part of the interview just due to time purposes and just get to the end where Bob Costas really hammers home some questions. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Here you go.
To your knowledge, did Joe Paterno have any information regarding objectionable activities on your part prior to that report in 2002?
I can't totally answer that question. My answer would be no.
Did Joe Paterno at any time ever speak to you directly about your behavior?
No.
Never.
No.
He never asked you about what you might have done? He never
No.
asked you if you needed help, if you needed counseling?
No.
Never expressed disapproval of any kind?
No.
That was kind of interesting because a lot of the blame and stuff had gone on Joe Paterno. Whether it should have or not, I think basically what this comes down to is a failure at every level.
Oh yeah.
At Penn State.
Totally.
So
I agree.
part of this is on Paterno,
Yeah.
but I think he was a bit of a scapegoat almost in this whole
patsy.
thing. A patsy. Yeah, he was a bit of a dude. I need to get off mids because I can't even think. who
What?
Who's the guy that quote unquote shot Kennedy?
Lee Harvey Oswald?
Thank you. See how bad it is, dude? I'm barely awake. Yeah.
Jeez.
I guess Paterno was the Lee Harvey Oswald of this situation because they
Well,
really
he's
did.
He's the biggest name in the fucking institution.
Exactly.
So
if you nail it on him and Penn State shows, oh, we're firing Joe Paterno, blah blah blah.
it's what you would like be perceived as something like taking the heat off him.
Yeah. Well, taking the heat off of Penn State a little bit.
Oh, so they used like a big name like Joe Paterno.
Exactly. And like I said, I think there was a lot of blame to go around, but they isolated, I think, too much of it on Joe Paterno to try and take a lot of the focus off of the failures of Penn State as the institution.
But you can't deny how sometimes a lot of the fans are kind of wrong in defending
definitely.
Joe Paterno.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
I like Joe Paterno.
Yeah, me too.
But the fact of the matter is it was kind of a cover up.
Yeah, it's definitely a cover up. And the problem that I have with it is they talked about the law. Did Joe Paterno break any laws? And in all actuality, he didn't. He broke a moral law. Morally, if you hear anything of the sorts about sexual misconduct with a minor with an employee that is under you, then that guy needs to be investigated and gone.
Right.
And so obviously Paterno did not put forth the necessary effort to figure out what was going on here.
And he obviously had to make a decision because I'm sure him and Jerry Sandusky are they're good friends.
Yeah, exactly.
They go back a long time.
Yep.
So I mean, he got put in a tough spot.
Oh, definitely. So definitely plenty of blame to hand around. I just think that they tried to cover up a lot of their own blame, this being Penn State, by laying a lot of it on Paterno.
Right.
But here we're going to get to that end part where Bob Costas asks some pretty serious questions.
How would you define the part you played? What are you willing to concede that you've done that was wrong and you wish you had not done it?
This is interesting.
Well, in retrospect, I shouldn't have showered with those kids.
No shit, you fucking jack off.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, that's what hits me the most.
That's what hits me the most. I shouldn't
you
have
a
showered with
pedophile?
those. Oh, here you go.
No.
Are you sexually attracted to young boys, to underage boys?
Am I sexually attracted to
Yes.
underage?
You
boys?
don't repeat the fucking question.
Sexually
Guilty.
attracted?
Oh, you're spiking.
I enjoy young people.
I enjoy young people. What the
I
hell?
love to be around them.
Don't dance around the fucking question.
But no, I'm not sexually attracted to young boys.
He does that, and then he goes to saying
Obviously,
no.
you're entitled to a presumption of innocence,
Holy
and
shit.
you'll receive a vigorous defense. On the other hand, there is a tremendous amount of information out there, and fair-minded, common-sense people have concluded that you are guilty of monstrous acts.
Dude, it's almost, and we talked about this in our original podcast, that whole Ghostbusters thing where he asks Ray, if someone asks you, if you're a god, say yes. Well, in this case, if someone asks you if you like young boys and are a pedophile, you say no. I mean, that's all you say. You don't say I enjoy young boys. Or whatever the hell he said. I'm so mind boggled right now by his
my
answer.
God,
it's so crazy. Like so he rambled on. He's like, blah blah blah. But no, I'm not. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not sexually attracted to young boys.
Like,
It's
what's there to think about if you think you're innocent of these charges?
Exactly.
Then just fucking say no and don't try to dance around the issue. This just makes you more guilty.
Yeah, and I tell you what, and I don't know if you remember me telling you this, but here's a real other creepy bit of this whole thing. His lawyer was busted years ago for impregnating a underage
Intern.
Yeah. So looks like he tried to stay in the fraternity and
Two
find
peas in a pod.
Peas in a pod. I think this is going to continue to get more and more ugly as more stuff comes out. I read the 10-page indictment, and it's nasty, man. I mean, it said this, but the guy that the coach that supposedly saw him and all that, saw this kid with his hands up on the wall getting raped, or even if it was consensual, nonetheless, what are you doing just seeing that? Why are you not busting in there? I mean, yeah, that's a weird situation, and I guess who knows what you would do. But I can tell you right now, I certainly wouldn't just walk off or whatever the hell he did. I'd be like, hey, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck?
Right.
I mean, that's all you can say is, what the fuck at that point? The other sad aspect of this, it would close down this segment, is, Sandusky's had this organization for like 30 years. And the sad part is he takes, this isn't, I was talking to Snooky Bottoms, it was a guy in our league, and he was talking about how, dude, why are these kids are like 10, 11, 12 years old. If when I was 10 or 11 and some old man was trying to rub on me and stuff, I'd been like, what the hell? Yeah, well, you don't come from a completely broken home with parents that are, drug addicts in jail. You've probably been raped and stuff as a child as it is. I mean, that's who he was targeting.
Right.
Through his organization was targeting these kids that didn't have the support that they need, that had come from troubled homes, that had come from tough situations. So if some of this is true, that sickens me, because he was preying on those already unfortunate, man. So I don't know.
Chris Hansen needs to get on that case.
Chris Hansen. What are you doing? What are you doing? How about you take a seat? They always take a seat too. Talk it out.
I don't know all about predators. I was an altar boy growing up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Poor Dominator.
Maybe those memories I've repressed will
come out during a future podcast.
Right, exactly. Right in the middle of the podcast.
Well, cool, man. So what do you think? That was a good show. We kind of shot from the hip on this one. We were missing our buddy Jerry. Dude, he needs to get his priorities straight. I believe he missed this podcast due to family.
Who Who does that?
I don't know. Family?
Who has kids?
Yeah, who has kids nowadays? This is just stupid. But yeah, we
You
missed.
know who has kids? Every